Hey, good morning, everybody on the West Coast, and good afternoon to those on the East Coast. My name is Dave Savage, and it's my honor today to have Mr. Darren Hardy. Darren, welcome to the Mortgage Coach community, brother.
Good morning, everybody.
Good. Well, hey, I have interviewed you multiple times for Mortgage Coach. We did a call a month ago where we did a special early release of Insane Productivity for Mortgage Coach. But today's the big launch day. So a lot of work has been invested on behalf of the Mortgage Coach team, as well as a number of the leaders in the Mortgage Coach community. And this project, I really took this on as an organization for a really simple belief that I have. And I've got this belief that every mortgage professional has the opportunity to have the absolute greatest job in America. Being a loan officer, being a mortgage originator is an amazing profession. Unlimited income, unlimited flexibility. You get to help families achieve home ownership. You get to help realtors help families get lifestyle. I mean, it really is a spectacular job. But here's the thing. All you need to do is figure out how to be a trusted advisor to your clients and an effective leader to your team. And while many of you on this call right now have a production assistant, you have a team, some of you don't. You're a one-man, one-woman shop. But you know what? You still have a team. You've got a processor, and let's face it, in today's world, you need to manage down, and you need to manage up, and you need to manage laterally. So being effective and being a leader of a team is essential. So with that in mind, I believe that Insane Productivity is really the most effective personal development program, not in America, in the world, that was created by Darren Hardy. I've just had too many personal friends, too many top mortgage professionals that have gone through this program. So it really is our honor, Darren. It's our honor to partner with you to create something very unique and very special. So to set the table before we get into the questions, Darren, if you could just provide a little bit of color around, why did you partner with Mortgage Coach, and why do something specific for the mortgage industry?
Yeah, well, having been in the personal development human growth business for 20 plus years now, my mission is to make an impact. And in fact, our purpose statement around our office is we help business leaders and high achievers make an impact. And so we are always looking for those people within our society, within culture, that have the greatest influence on the greatest number of lives. And then we feel that if we can take the leaders within those marketplaces, within those communities, and really have an indelible impact on them individually, then when they go back to their offices and they go back to their client markets and they go back to their communities and their neighborhoods, the overall impact and influence that can have is tremendous. So as you stated so well, Dave, one of the great industries to make an impact on families, their future, their finances, their lifestyle, is the real estate business. Having also in a prior life been in the real estate business, I know the critical difference that a trusted advisor can make in the life and future of a family. It's game-changing, truly. So looking at the real estate industry, the mortgage industry, now what I do is I look for who are already the deemed influencers within those industries from a teaching and authority standpoint. And Mortgage Coach, you, Dave, are by far above and away, in my view, one of the great influencers to a very influential marketplace. And so it is equally my honor to be able to work with you and together try to make a big impact in what I think is a tremendous industry of people that are doing important work that can have an impact. So I get my mission fulfilled, and I think a lot of lives get impacted along the way. So that's why I'm here.
Absolutely. Well, Darren, let's do this. Let's get into some questions. So all of the questions I'm going to be asking, they came from the Mortgage Coach community. And I do encourage you, while we're rolling out a new product, Darren's always been part of our community, but he's going to be here even more. So if you have some questions that you'd like him to answer, please put those in the GoToMeeting control panel. If we don't get to them today, we'll get to them in a future interview. But we really want to make this organic and special. So let's kick this off. It's a question from Nikki Groff with Wallach & Volk, Chief Marketing Officer, top loan officer. I've interviewed Nikki a couple times. When I did my top producer interview with her over years ago, it literally was one of the most watched interviews of the year. So here's the deal. We are in a market of intense competition. every single loan that gets done in America, there's like 3 to 5 loan officers competing for it, and only one wins. So it's very competitive. What are the things you see elite achievers do to stand out and set themselves apart?
I'd say a couple things. The first one would be, when it comes right down to it, business is all about sales and marketing. And so from a marketing standpoint, one of the things that I've always tried to do is to never be the pursuer, but to position myself in such a way that I am the one being pursued, that though the market is coming to me rather than me having to pursue the market. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. I mean, even if you are in the mortgage business, when I was in the real estate business, even at Success Magazine, and when I was in the technology business, when I was in the environmental products business, and it's all about how you create market authority positioning. And you change the dynamic, where instead of you being the solicitor, you're actually having people apply to do business with you. I know that sounds odd, but you absolutely can do that. It's one of the things that we teach business leaders in another course that I have called the High Performance Forum. In fact, I know Dave Gallegos is on the line with us here today, and he's gone through the High Performance Forum, and that's I think the first thing is how do you establish yourself as the market authority? How do you establish yourself as the white knight, the one that is making a contribution to a community, where you are deemed the influencer of the community, and people are vying to do business with you. Doing business with you is actually a badge of honor. It is they become part of something bigger than themselves, and it's beyond just doing and gaining a great rate for their mortgage. And it's all about marketing, framing, and positioning. So I would refer you to the HPF for more on that. But the second thing that I would say, and really the purpose of our conversation here today, is it all comes down to who can outfocus the other. Today, the dividing line of competition is who can prevent distractions and keep their focus. We are living in an era of absolute, unfounded, an era of epic distraction. We've never seen this. We're the first generation to have to deal with the problems that we are faced with today. All these productivity tools that we built to make ourselves more productive and to make life easier, certainly in the beginning they did. You had access to a marketplace. You could communicate widely. You could source contractors from all over the world. It allowed us to become more productive. But then with the advent of social media and the rest of it, now these tools started working two ways. And so now the rest of the world had convenient and easy access directly to you all day, every day. And because these devices have become so addictive, pulling on the very weakest part of our nature, needing to be in the know, feeling like a hero who has has the ability to solve a problem, wanting to be liked, the insatiable desire for novelty that your monkey brain cannot get itself over, it has actually become the opposite of productivity, and it has become a completely destructive force. And so it's not the tool's fault. It is our inability to manage ourselves with these tools. So that's really what the focus of the Insane Productivity curriculum is. It is not just about ideas and knowledge that you need to manage your time better or to increase your productivity. It really becomes about self-management, learning how to operate in a very distracted world with powerful tools that instead of the tail wagging the dog, you can use these tools as a force for good versus, unfortunately, in many ways, they have become a force for evil when it comes to staying focused, staying on our plan, keeping our intention, and making steady, consistent progress. So the second would be the ability to outfocus your competition. And these are extreme times that we live in. They're extremely opportune times, but they're also extremely challenging times. A lot of these productivity tools in our culture, the way that it is operating today, is putting us in a position where we're overstimulated, we are overtaxed, overwhelmed, and at the same time, we are stressed, anxious, and underperforming and unproductive. And yet, if you can learn the tools and systems to self-manage yourself in this environment, you will crush it, because this is happening to everybody around you. All your competition, this is happening to. The modern era is happening to them too. But if you equip yourselves with the new tools, the new skills, the new systems to self-manage in this ocean of distraction that we're dealt with all day, you'll kill it. And that's what we're finding, those that are going through the Insane Productivity System. It's almost like an unfair advantage when you learn how to operate to your highest efficiency, to your strength, without the pull of constant fragmentation and distraction. You can kill it in today's marketplace.
So Mortgage Coach community, two thoughts. One, everybody on this call, you are armed with the Mortgage Coach Total Cost Analysis. So you can clearly distinguish yourself from the average loan officer. You are the trusted advisor, and it's obvious. But that last message that you put around, controlling your attention, first of all, I want everybody on this call to think about just how you're conducting yourself during this call. Have you looked at your mobile device? Have you checked email? Have you checked text? Are you really concentrating and engaged just in this conversation we're having right now? And I've been going through this program, Darren, now. This is going on the 5th week. We did an early release of this. We're on the 5th week of it. And there's no doubt it's been profound just being aware with how distracted we are. So, folks, that first one that you made, not only is it a big point, but in the Insane Productivity Program, Darren, you really do a nice job of giving us exercises and homework to really improve our focus and attention. So this next question came in from Eric Engeland. He's a branch manager with RPM, another great mortgage coach partner. And he had 3 requests. What are the 3 skills that can change my ability to lead, influence, and produce in a significant way? So 3 skills, Darren.
First off, I would say, if I were to answer the question, what's the most common trait that I saw with the super achievers that I got a chance to meet, interview, spend time with, get to know, the first skill is the first answer, is that they have this insatiable, never-ending hunger to learn and to grow. And so having a growth mindset, it is obviously something that has been put out by Harvard University forever, but it was validated and verified by all the uber achievers that I've had a chance to get to know. When you observe their behavior, their desire to have that little iterative improvement, to constantly grow. Steve Jobs would walk around his office and say, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. This is this insatiable desire to learn and to grow. And so it's obvious to those that are on this webinar, Dave, you have the highest performing mortgage professionals within the entire industry as part of Mortgage Coach, and then it's the ones that seem to be doing the best are the ones that show up to webinars like this to learn, to grow. So I don't need to really talk to you all about that, except for just keep doing what you're doing. It's a huge separator. Background, ethnicity, experience, family, heritage, age, race, gender, color, none of that had to do with those that rose to become super achievers, except for this absolutely insatiable desire to grow. And here's what it comes down to. I can't remember who said it, but they said it's what you learn after you know it all that counts. So I always find it fascinating. The people who are always doing the best are the ones that are on webinars like this. It's like going into the gym. You ever look around the gym? You go like, wow, everybody in this gym is fit. Everybody's in good shape in this gym. And then you walk outside the gym and everybody's not in such great shape. Everybody who's outside the gym are the ones that need to be in the gym. And the people who are in the gym don't really need to be in the gym, right? But those are the ones who go. So that really is number one. Number two, it is about productive focus. We all set goals. We all have great ambition and motivation, and we all set resolutions. We all set new date night regimens and routines. We're going to start new prospecting routines, whatever it is. We all start, but very few finish. Very few stay consistent, and so there is this drift that takes place in all of us. It's a human trait. It's a human behavior to drift once we've set our intention. The greatest definition of commitment I ever heard was doing the thing you were going to do long after the mood that you set it in has left you. And so everything that you've ever learned and read in time management books and blogs and apps and all the rest of that, it's all worthless. First of all, most of it is outdated and obsolete. They weren't designed in the era where we're dealing with these radical influences of distraction that we now have. These are modern tools that have literally only developed over the last 2-3 years to influence our behavior as radically as they had. So most are outdated and obsolete. But the other reason why they're not working for you is because it's all about knowledge, what you need to know. Well, you already know what to do in every area of your life. You know what to do. You know what to do to be a better leader. You know what to do to be a better salesperson. You know what to do to be a better parent. And if you don't, Google it, because you can find it out in about 10 minutes, anything you need to know about anything. And so knowledge is no longer what's needed. And so everything you've read, throw it out, because the reason you already know it, but you're not doing it. And so really today it's about behavioral management. It's about self-management. We are littered with knowledge. We have information overload. We know what to do in every area of our life, but we're just not doing it. And so this second skill is what's called self-management, self-behavior regulation. And that is what the Insane Productivity does. And it's what's different than it from any other time management or productivity course. It teaches you the behavior modifications that you need to make in this very distracted, complex culture and society that we're operating in. And over time, you build in systems so that ultimately discipline is not necessary. Now, this is a really key point, because if you're relying on discipline to succeed, you will fail, because it's part of our human nature. It's part of the flaw of our human nature to be able to sustain consistency over a long period of time. It's just like the reason why I have the largest diet industry in the history of humanity, and at the same time we've never been more fat in the history of humanity. Those two things existing together. Why? Because they all rely on willpower, and they rely on discipline. And willpower and discipline will fail over time. So the key is, can you build into your life systems that relegate discipline unnecessary? You see, a lot of people say that I'm extremely disciplined. The reality is that I'm extremely lazy, like most human beings on this planet. And inside the program, I'll convince you that most people are lazy by nature. But what I have built are systems that keep me on track, so that I don't have to rely on willpower. I don't have to rely on discipline. I take discipline and willpower out of the equation, and I have systems set up that keep me on track to the direction I want to go, to the goals that I want to achieve. And that's what the Insane Productivity Curriculum will help you do. And then I would say the last key skill comes down to sales communication. If you look at any of the greatest leaders in the history of our humanity, whether it be Abraham Lincoln, Steve Jobs, Jesus of Nazareth, Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Ronald Reagan, Nelson Mandela, you look at our current president, the number one attribute, skill that he had that got him into the White House. I mean, clearly at the time that he began, very unqualified to be in that position by comparison to the people that he was competing against. But he got there because he was an excellent speaker. And so the ability to speak persuasively, I would say, would be the third key skill when I have taken a look at the greatest achievers in our society. So those three wrapped up, I think, would be the key skills. An insatiable desire to learn and grow, the ability to self-regulate through your personal productivity, and the ability to be a persuasive speaker. And that doesn't matter whether you are doing a State of the Union address, a staff meeting, you're in a sales presentation at the kitchen counter talking to a family. The ability to speak persuasively is that third skill.
Love it. So we are on a roll. I am starting to get some great feedback in chat and questions. So folks, again, ask questions. Whether we get to them today, we'll get to them in other sessions. So this next question is just a perfect segue from the last one. This one came in from Millennial Robert Rain with Skyline, loan officer, mortgage coach. I've had Robert on a few calls. No doubt, communication is a challenge. So first of all, picture Robert. He's this millennial. He's just kind of up and coming top producer. And, he's having months where he's crushing it. He's having months where he's trying to catch up. And so, his challenge is, I'm juggling lots of hats. I'm selling, I'm processing, I'm marketing, I'm communicating. And in Robert's case, he's on, he's got text coming in, he's got Facebook, he's got Instagram, and if I know Robert Ray, he's probably got Snapchat going too. So with that in mind, what advice do you have? How do you juggle all these hats?
Yeah, great question. That's the modern era, and this is where I think really leveling up your skills is crucial. And so it comes down to, and this is what's taught thoroughly in activity, identifying what are your vital functions. Okay, those few things that you do to make it rain. The reason why you get paid the big bucks, Robert, isn't for Snapchatting and Facebooking and the rest of that, right? But those are things that you're involved in anyway. And so identifying, first of all, what are your vital functions, those few things that you do to make the till ring. And once you've identified them, then it's a matter of setting up the systems around you so that you can concentrate as much time, energy, creative power, and strength in executing on those three vital functions. And then you set up your vital priorities underneath those, and then you monitor and measure them through your vital metrics. It's what's called the Success Vitals system, and that we go into thoroughly in the Insane Productivity curriculum, a single dashboard that rolls it all up. And then that kind of clarity, when you know exactly what it is that you get paid to do and what you are not paid to do, and you align your schedule and your daily rhythms around that, and you have the metrics in which to prove whether you are or aren't doing it, are or aren't on track, it's powerful. Let me give you an example. So when I was publisher of Success Magazine, this is a extraordinarily complex position. I mean, you're managing advertisers, you're managing staff, you're managing editors. We had Success Store, so we had hundreds of SKUs. We had Success Speakers, where we're managing speakers, Success Books, where we're managing book publishing. There are 1,000 things that I could have been involved in as the publisher of Success Magazine, but I boiled my three vital functions, those things that allowed me to move the needle the most for what we were trying to achieve, as number one, content creation, so the time that I was spending interviewing top achievers, curating content, and writing, so writing my own publisher's letter and writing the blog. That was one of my three vital functions. The other was speaking on stages for people's national and international conferences so we can enroll 5,000 or 10,000 people into our success community. And number three was public relations. When I was on media and out front, we were building our community. Now, in actuality, those three functions are not typically the three vital functions of a publisher who's running a media business. But yet, when we analyzed what my greatest strengths were and the things that I did that had the biggest impact on the overall enterprise, those were the three vital functions. So I set up my entire world. I went from being in the office 6-7 days a week to not going to the office but once every couple of months for a single day, because managing the internal operation was not one of my vital functions. So I created systems, built teams, had measurements and monitoring systems that made sure that the internal operation was going great so that I could interview, speak, and be outside on media. Even to this day, in operating my business here today, it is still writing, speaking, and marketing. And so you got to figure out what your few vital functions are. And then, now I know everybody's thinking, yeah, but I've got all these things to do, and they got to get done, and I can't just do three things. So here's a great lesson that I learned from Ken Fisher, who is a billionaire. He's on the Forbes 400. He said, look, when you first start out in your business, you're going to have to do everything, right? He says, let's say that you're doing the sales and marketing, you're doing the customer service, you're doing the accounting, and you're taking out the trash. Well, you got to do it all in the beginning, but what you want to do is get enough sales and marketing going so that you can pay somebody else to take out the trash. You get more sales and marketing going so that you can pay somebody to do the accounting. Get more sales and marketing going so you can pay somebody to do the customer service. Get more sales and marketing going, you can pay somebody to do the sales and marketing so that you can just strategically operate the business from 30,000 feet and look over the horizon. So in the beginning, you might not be able to do just those few things. But as you start building your revenue and your cash flow, the first thing you want to do, what he said, is you want to quit. You got to be a quitter. Quit taking out the trash. Quit doing the accounting. Quit doing the customer service. one by one, stop doing as much as you possibly can so that you can focus on those vital few, and then when you get really good at it, you focus on the vital one. The one thing you do that has the greatest impact to the business, and that's something that I learned from Joel Osteen that I go into in depth in the Insane Productivity Curriculum. I tell you, to be a game changer for those that are on this. Knowing your business, what I just talked about there, understanding it at a deeper level will be a game changer in how you can dominate your marketplace. So I refer you back to the program for more info.
So folks, let's think about what are the vital few as a mortgage professional. I welcome folks to add your thoughts and questions and chats. There's no doubt a meeting with a real estate agent is a vital item to do. Doing the activity to get that meeting is vital. Having an initial consultation with a borrower, delivering that family with a total cost analysis so they can make an informed decision. I mean, those are vital things to do. So, Robert, not picking on you, Snapchat maybe after hours, these other things when you have time. What are your vital few things that you need to do, and how many of those things do you need to do per day? So, folks, Mortgage Coach community, I would love to know what your vital few are. Please share that in chat. So, Darren, here's a great segue to this. This came in from Ryan Morrow with Sierra Pacific Mortgage, a branch manager. So he leads a team. Darren, how do you manage your team to hit those metrics without having to double check them all the time? And Darren, one more caveat. In our industry, a branch manager is typically a producing branch manager. So they're typically some of the most successful mortgage professionals. They're doing a lot of selling, and they're managing a team. And typically those teams are around 10 loan officers. So with that in mind, what can we do so we don't have to double check all the time?
So clarity is power. When people are clear exactly what it is to win and what those metrics are that are evidence of winning, they're empowered. As a matter of fact, psychologists will tell you that the number one key to happiness, there's all this happy horse shit going on in the personal development industry about how to be happy. It comes down to, if you can see the evidence of progress, it makes you happy. I mean, you've come home at the end of a day and you're just like on fire. You had a great day, and your spouse says, well, how was your day? It was like, it was a great day. And well, why was such a great day? Because I did this and I did this. You felt accomplished. You saw the evidence of progress. That's what makes you happy and makes you motivated. Even if 10 years from now, whatever you did that day has no measurable impact on your future in life whatsoever. But in the moment, you felt like you had made and you saw the evidence of great progress. That's what makes you happy, and it's what makes every human being happy. So if you want to keep your people motivated and happy, then show clearly evidence of progress, what it takes to win, what those vital metrics are, and that those vital metrics are being impacted on a day-to-day basis. So inside the Insane Productivity Curriculum, I outline what's called a high-performance dashboard. And this is how I operate my entire team. I have a sizable team. They're all virtual, and which means that I'm not standing over their shoulder every day. And so the complexity of managing a team that's virtual is even more difficult than a team that is inside your own office. But this high-performance dashboard makes it absolutely easy and clear. They're all empowered, they're all motivated, and they're all seeing how their metric is rolling up to the master dashboard of metrics we're trying to achieve as a team. So I go into what that high-performance dashboard is. Every single individual person has their own one-page dashboard that has all their 3 goals for the year broken down in month, quarter, annual. It has their vital functions, the things that they're contributing to the organization the most. It has their vital priorities, which are an aspect of each one of those vital functions, their vital metrics that they can see day-to-day evidence of progress that rolls up to impacting the master dashboard itself. And with that clarity of exactly what it is they're supposed to be doing and seeing the evidence of moving the needle, the motivation, the empowerment, the clarity is power. So that's truly how to do it. We have a hiring system that we also have people go through. So everybody's got a scorecard, everybody's got a dashboard, and then we just huddle on either side of the week. We have a Monday huddle at 10 a.m., and everybody goes through what their vital priority is for the week. And then at the end of the week on Friday at 10 a.m., we declare whether we hit the vital priority or didn't. Each one of those calls is 30 minutes or less for a dozen people. And so, and with that clarity, there is constant rhythm. And rhythm, as you know, held consistent turns into momentum. And momentum is that enigmatic force that allows you to just dominate and crush the people around you who are constantly doing these fits and starts. But what are we supposed to be doing now? What's the priority? What's the goal? Am I doing it? Am I on track? Did my job role change? You're asking me to do this, but last week you were asking me to do this. Clarity is power.
So, love it. So I have received a lot of feedback and questions. You know, pretty much what I brought up was what I'm hearing. I would love to see any scoreboards that you have. So anyone who's on this call, that you've got a way that you're tracking your vital few, please share that. You can email me at dave@mortgagecoach. I will bring that into the conversation with future calls with Darren. And I'll also cover that at our next Tuesday coaching call. I really think that's something that's incredibly important. So Mortgage Coach community, let's help each other. Let's get clear on our vital few, and let's share how we're tracking that and scoring that from day to day. So hey, Darren, we've referenced the Insane Productivity Program multiple times now. I think it's appropriate that folks know a little bit more about what it is. So, you know, I want to start before I walk you through it saying that this is like no educational experience you've been through. So I've been to a lot of events. I've signed up for a lot of programs. I've been through a lot of things. I've never been through anything like this. You know, Darren really created something special for the 21st century later. I mean, the first module is all about, you know, how not to be so ADD, how to have a more strategic relationship with our mobile device. So it's like before we even get into strategies, we're addressing our biggest challenge, which is focus and attention. So it's a 12-week program. I will cover what Mortgage Coach has done. You know, we've done some things to make this extremely relevant for you as a mortgage professional and for you as a mortgage leader. You know, my vision is everybody on this call is a leader. Whether you are head of production, and I see a lot of heads of production that have, you know, hundreds of loan officers that work for them. I see a number of folks that have literally hundreds of loan officers and possibly 500 to 1,000 people within their leadership. And I see folks on this call that are branch managers, that you've got 10 loan officers, and when you really look at all of the folks that rely on your leadership, it's 20, 30. And I see individual loan officers that are just struggling to get to the point where they have leadership, and you have branch managers, or excuse me, you have processors, you're managing realtors. This program nails it for you. So Darren, if you could give us a quick walkthrough, and then let's get to some of these other questions.
Okay. So are you going to show slide visuals, or you want me to just give a quick verbal overview?
Slides as you're talking. I can't multitask quite that fast, but it's coming, Darren. Tell me when you can see my screen.
Yeah, either way. Okay, so I guess I would say first off is that it's pretty unprecedented. Nobody in our lifetime has had access to the thought and the business leaders that I have had. It's a unique and very fortunate situation. I've led 3 television networks where we presented the content of all the thought leaders in the country. Anybody you can think of, the Zig Ziglars, the Brian Tracy's, the Les Browns, anybody you can think of, we produce television shows with, and so they're all on my speed dial. And then as publisher of Success Magazine, everybody wanted to have their profile written about positively, right? So there wasn't anybody on the planet that I couldn't get to take my call and who didn't want to have the positive press that we could present inside of Success Magazine. So with that tool, with that lever, it gave me direct access to anybody you can think of, from the Steve Jobs to the Warren Buffetts to the Bill Gates, to anybody you can possibly think of. And so my greatest desire was always to get inside their head to figure out how they pulled all this off. In a world of 24/7, 365, how did they do 10, 50, 100, sometimes several thousand more than the rest of us? What did they think about? What did they do first thing in the morning? How do they keep themselves motivated? How do they motivate the people around them? What are their behavior systems? What are their philosophies about it? And so all of that over a 20-year journey of really unprecedented access to the best people on the planet this is really a digest of the very best ideas and strategies. Now, these aren't just the ideas that work for a Steve Jobs. These are ideas that I learned from Steve Jobs that I tried, applied, and made relevant to us mere mortals. Okay, so there are a lot of ideas that I got from some incredible people, but it works in their world but might not work in our world. And so that's what the distillation and compression of those ideas made tangible are presented in the Insane Productivity Curriculum. So if you really never, if I could say this, having had access to all the personal development tools that are on the planet, because everybody would send them to me, if this is the only tool you ever use to learn to level up your personal productivity, you've got it. Okay, it's the best of the best. And so what it is, it's a 12-module program. Because see, on a webinar like this, we might be able to change your mind. We might be able to inspire you to set new goals, to seek higher levels of ambition. But what we can't do is change your life until we change your behavior. And behavior changes over time. And so the program is designed as a behavior change management system, not just the knowledge you need. We already told you knowledge is useless these days because it's all around us. It's a commodity. So over 12 weeks, one module at a time, you'll learn the insights from the best in the world made relevant and applicable to you. We'll give you an action plan in which to try and test these into your own life, build those systems into your own daily method of operation. And then the next module comes to layer on top of that, layer on top of that. And so over time, after 12 weeks, you've gone through the development change that actually changes your behavior. And once your behavior is changed, we can change the financial fortune of your future. So you're given access to a private membership site. It launches today. That's why we're doing this. It's available right now today, the actual customized version of the Insane Productivity Curriculum with Mortgage Coach. It's the first time it's available. Dave and company have been going through the baseline program, but today the official Mortgage Coach Insane Productivity Curriculum launches. Dave, why don't you just, what are some of the things that you added to the program that makes it relevant to mortgage professionals?
Absolutely. Thanks, Darren. So the way I looked at this and the way we got behind this as a company, as an initiative, is we look at Darren. We said, look, he's interviewed and put together core productivity curriculum for effective executives in the 21st century. And here at Mortgage Coach, I've interviewed many hundreds, 1,000 of the nation's top mortgage executives and mortgage professionals. So I hand-selected some very specific friends of Mortgage Coach, many of who would be a black belt in Darren's program. So we've got Todd Bookspan on today's call. Todd has seen Darren speak. Todd has been through this program multiple times. By the way, Todd, are you on the call right now?
Yes, sir. How you guys doing?
Hey, good to have you, my friend. So while everyone that you see a picture of had a role, they created something that takes Darren's strategies and makes it relevant for mortgage professionals. Todd, especially his new career at Building Champions. By the way, Todd, does the room I'm in look familiar to you?
It looks very familiar. Sat there many times.
Yeah. By the way, everyone, I'm live at Building Champions, headquartered in Portland, Oregon. So that's where I'm broadcasting this from. But Todd, if you could just provide just a little bit of color around what you did in terms of giving mortgage professionals a guided tour through, call it Insane Productivity for Mortgage Coach.
Sure. So I originally did Insane Productivity the first time in 2014. I purchased it when I was coming out of Darren's High Performance Forum, which is one of his smaller events for about 24 CEOs, and it was really a great experience. And it was just one way for me to take what I had learned from Darren and take it to the next level. One thing I've loved about all these questions is, as Darren's answering them, I'm realizing that everyone's questions that they're thinking or asking are all questions that Darren addresses throughout the program. Darren will always say his superpower is his ability to have talked to all these uber successful people and distill it down so that we mere mortals can all actually understand it. I don't know if I would put myself in the same category as Darren, but what I did was I went through and at the end of each module, I've got a distillation of each module, and then I've actually applied a mortgage filter over it. So when it comes to the module that talks about the 3 vital functions, I address the vital functions of mortgage loan originators. When it comes to the modules around, what's your definition of success. I talked about how that might look for mortgage loan originators. So ultimately, what I attempted to do, and hopefully deliver, and I guess you guys will all be the judge of that, is to take what Darren has put out there, which is great for everybody, and I've said, okay, well, how do we make it specific for those of us and what we do day to day in the mortgage world? And it's been a lot of fun to do that, and I'm looking forward to getting some feedback from all of you on how I did.
Yeah, well, you did a great job. By the way, for folks who don't know you, Todd, how many loans, how many families did you help last year get a mortgage?
541.
So, folks, you're talking to a man who earned the trust and the respect as a team, led a team, a trusted advisor for families, and think of the number of realtors and partners that had to trust him to refer all those folks. So he knows a little bit about the mortgage business, and he made this relevant for you. So
let me just say, Dave, I mean, Todd's a super stud, and I would purchase the course just to find out what he's telling and teaching around these ideas that's relevant to the mortgage professional. Because if I'm a mortgage pro, I want to know what this guy knows and what he's doing, and I want to find out what inner secrets that I can learn from somebody who's producing at that level. And I know that Todd's a great communicator as well, so being his ability to package these ideas, I'm super excited, Todd, that you've taken the time, energy, and effort to wrap your brilliance around this program. I think that's going to make the value add of that, I think, is off the charts. I'm excited.
Yeah, appreciate it, Todd. And then I did want to showcase another mortgage coach leader, Jen. If you don't mind, just share what market you're in, how many loans you closed, and a little bit about your role with this project.
Sure. Well, thank you. I'm just, I'm so honored and blessed to have this opportunity to share, what really, after being in Darren's program for about a year now, and also in the Mastery program, my heart's just so filled with joy. It's amazing. But, this was a perfect alignment for me. Because I'm a super achiever, and of course I learned that term from Darren, and it was again just a perfect alignment for me. It had a profound, and has had, and continues to have a profound effect on my life and my success. And I can tell you that I while I'm in hyper A personality, which is great, I now walk around with an internal calmness and clarity, to everything that I do. And when I think about a light, when we think about being laser focused, we use this word so much. When you think about a light and it's in a soft room and it's in the evening and it's snowing outside and the light's great, but it's very diluted. And I think that we all want to be in that light, but everything that we do is so segmented and distracted and diluted. And so what's happened with Insane Productivity is it's brought me into a laser focus. It's the same light. I'm just using it in a different manner, a manner that allows for me to be have an impact and influence people in my life, and really sprinkle and spread those same things that I'm learning through Insane Productivity into my team, into my family, into my children. And it's just really amazing how that's affected my life. I'm now proud to say, and I've said it several times on our calls, that I'm only working 4 days a week now. I've been able to have enough time where I can be lazy, as Darren says, lazy just sitting around making money, right? Because I'm thinking. I'm using that 4th day to ponder. So on the 4th day, she ponders how her life is going to go next. What's going to happen next? So I'm in the Washington D.C. metro area, and I guess that's really it. I just wanted to let you know where I'm at, and how much this has made an impact on my life. And while I'm a super achiever, I have much more to learn.
But you've done a great job. I'm really proud of your success, Jen. You're a fantastic mortgage coach. The interview that we did months ago was spectacular. And the videos that you created that are part of this educational experience are really powerful. I mean, you took some great principles that are leading to success of some of the world's most successful leaders, and you made them extremely relevant for a mortgage professional. So I'm grateful to have you as part of this project.
Hey, Dave, can I just say, Jen, it brings me so much joy to hear your story, because while I'm after trying to help you be a better mortgage professional and to make an impact on your business life, the fact that it's made an impact on your kids, on your personal life, on your lifestyle, that's what ultimately we're after. And so you're a phenomenal example, and I'm just thrilled to hear your story, and the impact that this program has had on your overall life is what this is all about. It's my mission, so thank you for being able to help me feel today that mission accomplished on your side.
You're welcome, but thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right on. So let's do this. So, Danny, I'm going to bring you in about 2 minutes, and I know you've got a fantastic question. Danny's another one of America's most successful mortgage professionals who's actually going through this program. You know, when we did the early release of this about a month ago, Danny signed up, and you've done a great job of that. So, Danny, hold tight for a minute, maybe two, and we'll bring you in for another question. So, Darren, let's kind of wrap up explaining what the program is, tell folks how to sign up for it, and then, you know, that'll give us about 10, 15 minutes for some more questions. So,
okay. Well, I think you guys have a URL, mortgagecoach.com/same productivity, or sameproductivity.com/mortgage coach, right?
Yeah, well, that, folks, everyone, that will be in the chat section of the GoToMeeting, literally right now. You know, if it's not there, it'll be there within minutes. So just keep an eye out for that. We'll also have a link to where we promoted this on Facebook. There will be just temporarily through the day a link to do that. This is something that's limited, and we're making it available to, you know, the entire Mortgage Coach community. But go ahead with some of the bonuses, Darren.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So insaneproductivity.com/mortgage coach. The class starts today, so if you don't get in today, the class will go on without you. So it is a sense of urgency in terms of the timing, because this is the official day to begin the class. And I know that Dave, you'll talk about some of the mentoring calls that you're doing every Friday, which I think is awesome. And also, it maxes out at 500, so it could sell out before the day even ends. So the reason for that is Dave and I will be personally interacting with the group, providing additional mentorship and answering questions. And if the group gets too big, then we won't be able to get to all the interactions. So it will be tapped out at 500. Yeah, there were some additional things that people wanted more mentorship on, which is how to manage social media is one of the bonus modules that I've added just as an additional gift. Social media is both a great opportunity for us to build a tribe and create a following and garner new business, but it also can become a massive, massive productivity distraction. So how do you manage this? Myself, we reach over 1 million people every day on social media across 6 platforms. And so how do you grow that? How do you grow your social media following intelligently? But secondly, how I spend less than 15 minutes a week. Less than 15 minutes a week managing my entire social media platforms, and yet we're reaching over 1 million people every single day. I explain how I do both those things. Build it and then manage it without a lot of time, energy, and effort. The second thing is a lot of these questions were about how do you manage your team, how do you oversee their vital metrics, how do you keep them motivated and engaged. So I did a special mentoring bonus module on tools of measurement, how to measure yourself and your progress, and how to manage a team and measure and monitor a team's progress, not only for your own management and leadership oversight, but more importantly for their own motivation and engagement, so that everybody wins. That clarity is power, back to that. So there's a whole separate extra bonus on that. And then lastly, energy management. You will only do what you feel up to. You know, the afternoon lull, or whether you feel like going to the gym, feel like making those prospecting calls, this is all about how you manage your energy. Dr. Oz and several other peak performance experts that I had a chance to spend time with, there's some incredible insights about how to level up your energy sustainably throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout your life that I share in that bonus module. And then the last thing that I want to also throw in is this entire program that I did on the habits. A financial organization paid a 6-figure check to have me distill down everything that I've learned from the greatest achievers in the world in terms of how they built and sustained their high-performing habits. And so it's a complete audio program that they ended up reselling for over $1,000 per unit throughout their financial organization. And it's a phenomenal program. I'd pay $100,000 for it if I could have had it 10 years earlier in my life, knowing the impact that habits have on your ultimate outcome. And so I just want to give that as an additional gift. You'll get the whole audio program, which is a $1,000 program, as part of enrollment into the customized version of the Mortgage Coach Insane Productivity curriculum. So I think that's it, Dave. Oh, why don't you speak to what you're doing, which I think is amazing and generous and a real benefit for those that are clients of yours.
So, folks, we want as many mortgage professionals to go through this program as possible. Not only will it make you super successful and productive, it'll make you a better trusted advisor because you'll use Mortgage Coach more effectively. So we've got a $500 scholarship that we're providing to the program. Darren, I'll let you walk through the details of the pricing and how it works. But we're investing in your success. And then I'm also, for the next 60 days, I'm doing a mastermind. Todd Bookspan has been joining us. Dave Gallegos has been there. Jen has been there most weeks. So every Friday at 9 o'clock, we are doing a mastermind event. So we're investing financially, and we're investing our time to help make you more successful with Insane Productivity. So if you wouldn't mind wrapping up the offer, and then we'll get into some more questions.
Yeah, you know, that peer group is so powerful, Dave, because we all know that, you become the combined average of the 5 people who hang around the most, but it's hard to find 5 people that can level you up, right? We always tend to be the most successful in our own group, or the most avid learner, or the one that's seeking growth the most. And so finding other people to collaborate with who are all gunning and going for it, that peer support is very, very powerful. So, yeah, the Insane Productivity curriculum is normally $1,500, but because of your generous scholarship, it's $995, and then all of that I covered will be added gratis. So the extra bonus on social media management and marketing, and the tools of measurement, the energy management, and the $1,000 audio program on the habits of high performance. That's worth it by itself, by the way. When you get your hands on that and you go through that and listen to that a few times, that itself will be a game changer for most people. And then, hey, the Insane Productivity curriculum becomes bonus. So either $995 or 3 payments of $365. And I promise you this: if it is not the game changer that we're talking about, if it doesn't allow you to triple to 10x your productivity, and you earn 3 to 10 times more than the cost of membership that you would have without it, you let me know. I'll refund your money entirely, because I just want to encourage you, step up, do it, and I promise it's worth it. And if it's not worth it, I'll give you your money back entirely. But I just want to make sure that there's no hesitation about investing in yourself to learn, to grow, to get the advantage, get the edge in today's world. And I hope to hear a story like what Jen explained about the impact it's had, not just on your mortgage business, not with just your clients or the people who are working with you on your team, but your family, your kids, the neighbors around you, the community that you are an influencer in. I'm about collecting stories, so whatever I got to do to encourage you to become a new story of impact is what I'm after.
All right, folks, so we have put the link in the chat. Now you know what it is. I hope to have you join us on this educational experience. And like I said, a lot of Mortgage Coach already signed up. Danny is one of America's top mortgage professionals, spoken at Sales Mastery. I have interviewed Danny more times than I can count. Danny, 1, you've signed up for the program, and then 2, I know you have a question for Darren, because you're already, what are you, about 4 or 5 weeks into the program right now?
Yeah, I've got through Module 5, which was just awesome. And first, I want to just say how grateful I am that I took the leap in the last presentation and signed up. Just in the 5 modules have been so impactful on my ability to stay efficient. And it was funny because at the time I literally had filled out the screen, and I was like, do I really have time for this? I have all these things going on in my life, and am I really going to be able to go all in and make this part of my routine weekly, and then do the masterminds? And it's so funny that I was thinking that, because this is exactly what I needed to make the time that I didn't have, which is, it's just so counterintuitive. So I'm so grateful that this opportunity was there. And really, one of my biggest takeaways really kind of echoes what Jen was saying. I have a young family, so that time that I'm spending, working on my business, working with our team, and figuring out, how to invent a better mousetrap, and answering calls at the middle of the night and sending emails from my phone when, first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, all that, what I have been taking away, probably the biggest thing is this idea of significance. And I've had to ask myself in this system, the Insane Productivity program, where am I trying to find significance, and what are my behaviors saying about how I'm seeking significance? So, Darren, my question to you is, you talk a lot in the program about not missing the point. That our achievement and success should be about something other than just its own production. And so, how do you personally avoid missing the point, and how do you teach novice achievers like myself? What are some actionable items that we can take away to work on that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's one of the major epiphanies that I've come up with over the last 5 years battling with this question. Because the thing about ambition, we're all ambitious, but ambition is a double-edged sword. That thing that gets you out of bed every morning, has you set big goals, has you want to conquer the world, become number one in your marketplace, start new businesses, start new ventures. That is a great force. If there's one pill I wish I could create and market, it would be the pill of ambition and desire, for growth and for better, right? But the opposite side of that sword is ambition can drive you, but it can also drive you out of your life, the things that matter the most. You can become beholden to your ambition. You can start new projects and start new businesses and then end up with all these employees and headaches and liabilities and time constraints and so forth. So there's this, I call it kind of like harnessing and wrangling your ambition a bit to figure out what is it that is most important to you in life, truly. Not what you say is important because it sounds good, like that should be your answer, but what truly is important to you in life. And when you come up with that answer, you're going to realize that ambition is going to help you realize that potential, but it also could drive you far past it, right? You could want to provide a life and lifestyle for your family that is better than the lifestyle that you were able to grow up with, that can send your kids to the greatest universities in the world, but will provide them with financial security. But then you can go beyond that, where all of a sudden you've got all these obligations that are taking you away from your family, that are taking you away from the ability to join them on vacation or to be present with them in the evenings. So you've got to wrestle this. For me, it comes down to core values. Those are my decision filters. It's how I vet incoming opportunities. So my core values are impact, growth, and excellence. And so I'll give you for instance, a little while back I was presented with an opportunity to be the master franchisor for the Western United States for a gourmet hamburger franchise. And they were basically going to just kind of take care of it for me. They just really wanted my name associated with the whole venture. And when I started analyzing, because it was tantalizing, I mean, the ability to just sort of get paid all this money and be part of this thing that right at the time was very trendy and all the rest of it. I had to ultimately vet it through my core values. Is this who I am? Is this what I'm about? Is this what vision and purpose I'm trying to serve? Is it a statement of impact? Is it a statement of personal growth? Is it a statement of excellence? And the reality was it wasn't. And so I said no. But not only did I say no, I said no guilt-free. Because sometimes when we say no, we're like, maybe I should, maybe, and that internal maybe, that gray area of saying no to maybe something that could be, profitable and worthwhile. But when I vet it against my core values, I can easily and cleanly say, no, that's not who I am and what I want to do. Now, mind you, the person who ended up taking that position, they've made about $10 million on it over time. But I am still thrilled and relieved that I said no. because it's more important about how I live than monetary value, what I have to get up every day to do. I don't want to get up every day and go into a burger restaurant. I don't want to get up every day being beholden to that as a business. So number one filter is my core values. Number two filter is, if I say yes to this venture, this opportunity, this idea, what am I going to have to get up every day to do? I no longer look at the outcome as part of the decision of what I'm going to do or not do something. I look at the process, the journey along the way. I want to enjoy every day, not someday when you hit the goal, when you finally arrive, but I want to enjoy every day. So those two filters. Number one, does it pass the filter test of my three core values? And number two, is it how I want to live day to day? If I enjoy the journey, then the joys in the journey, the destination will just be an added bonus. So I hope that helps. You know, one of the things I want to encourage you to consider is it does not have to be anything of any grand idea of legacy, denting the universe, all the rest, you know, doing something for humanity, changing the world. None of that is necessary. What's necessary is what you're doing, a representative of your true internal core values, the things you value the most, that fills you with pride and joy. And do you enjoy what you're doing on a day-to-day basis? If you've done that, you're the ultimate success. You've lived a life of significance.
So Danny, before you jump, first of all, great answer, Darren. But I've had a number of questions come in terms of how much time do I need to invest in the program? So you know you have high achievers when they're not asking about the price, they don't have issues with that, they're saying, how much of my time do I need to invest in the program? So Danny, could you speak to just on a week-to-week basis how much time you're investing to go through the program so far?
I've blocked out 2.5 hours a week. So an hour for a module, 30 minutes for reflection on a different day, and then an hour for the mastermind.
Beautiful. And
I could say to this, Dave, knowing that this is a program already for high achievers, you can download the audio program and put it on your mobile device and listen to it as you are doing your net time. Net time is no extra time, so you're driving around, you're exercising, you're walking the dogs, you're traveling, what have you. So the actual consumption of the content can be done with no extra time. So then we could take his 2.5 hours and and cut it down to the half hour that he's actually contemplating, which is brilliant that you carve out that time, and kind of working through some of those questions and exercises so that you could build in some of those systems into your life. And then the peer interaction with the mastermind call that you're facilitating, Dave, I think is invaluable. So, the one mastermind call, a half hour for some contemplation, and then take the rest of the stuff mobile so that you can listen to it a few times throughout the week, and you've got it in an hour and a half a week.
Love it, love it. So let's wrap things up. Dave Gallegos is an amazing branch manager. Also has gone through Darren's program multiple times. Is a master in helping his loan officers use Mortgage Coach. Dave, if you could provide a little color around the program, and maybe even answer to that question around your advice on how loan officers fit this into their schedule.
Well, I'm just huge fan, and it's a pleasure to be here and an honor. Thanks for having me. I went to the High Performance Summit back when these were one-day live events in San Diego, and I live in Denver, so going to San Diego in January was kind of a no-brainer. But when Insane Productivity came out, and then right after that, I've been to 2 high performance forums because I'm slow. But when Insane Productivity came out, it was so much more, and I loved High Performance Summit so much I sent a half a dozen of my staff as well. But when Insane Productivity came out, it took what you learned, because you're drinking water through a fire hose in a one-day event like that. You get to break these ideas and these concepts up into manageable, implementable chunks instead of you take in so much and then you maybe implement 10 or 20%, which would be a huge home run. If you only implemented 10 or 20% of this stuff, you'd be light years ahead of where you were. But being able to break it down in chunks the way Insane Productivity was broken down was just, and again, all of a sudden, as soon as I bought it, I'm like, okay, we got to buy more of these, and let's have everybody else sign up. And so it's been a game changer for us, and it's something that I go through every year, because every year, this is like reading Compound Effect, which I read over and over. These are the kinds of things. You're not going to master this. You're just every year you're going to get a little bit better and a little bit better. You're going to find better ways to improve. And so yeah, huge. If you're even kind of thinking about signing up, you're nuts not to. So just sign up. It's unbelievably impactful, and it will change. You'll have a better life. You'll have a better business.
So Dave, how many units or what kind of production does your branch do monthly or annually, however you measure it?
Well, and I was thinking about that. When I went to the first High Performance Summit, our branch was closing around 250 transactions a year, and then after I went through the forum, our volume doubled, and then last year it doubled again. So we're going to do we should do around 11 or 1,200 units, 1,200 families. I'm going to quit saying units, 11 or 1,200 families that we're helping this year. So it's been just keep learning and keep growing. So that's it.
So
that's
folks,
awesome. Congratulations, buddy. That is awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is huge production, and obviously you're a busy man in a busy organization. Danny, what's your production of your team? What kind of volume are you guys doing?
This year so far, we've helped 579 families for just a little over 260 million.
Wow.
260 million. So folks, the folks that we have on here and that are going through this program, they're busy. They're incredibly busy, incredibly successful, but they're dedicated to getting even more effective. Let's face it, as I kicked off this call, I do believe that we are in a profession that this could be the best job you ever have. You can have the dream life, but it's all about being effective and productive with how you're a trusted advisor and how you're managing your team. And again, I know I'm going on here, we're a few minutes over, but we just really believe in this program. I believe that if a mortgage coach goes through this, they're going to be more successful, they're going to serve more families, and they're going to have a better life. And I'm going through it myself and loving every minute of it. So folks, sorry for going a little bit over, but as you can tell, we're pretty passionate about what we're bringing to the market. For those of you that have already signed up and trusted us and invested, thank you. For everybody on the call, grateful for the hour and 9 minutes that you spent with us. Darren and I do not take that lightly. We realize that it's a lot of time, and we're just committed to helping you have a life-changing experience here. So click on the link below, sign up today. Darren, any parting words before we wrap up today's call?
No, actually, this has been as rewarding for me as hopefully the others on the other side of the line, just to hear how passionately committed everybody is to their growth. Hearing the results that have come out of it is just a thrill and a joy. So the idea to pick the mortgage space, to pick the most influential leader within that space, to try to make an impact on this community was a great choice, and I'm thrilled to be doing it with you guys.
Good. Well, looking forward to the success stories. I am on all of those Friday calls at 9 o'clock Pacific, and all the leaders that we talked about, they're not there every week, but it's been an amazing group. So we look forward to having you on it. We have a private Facebook group so that when you do sign up, you will be invited to a private Facebook group that you can only be in if you're part of this group. So I look forward to adding a lot more folks. Friday's call. Hopefully we'll see you at 9 o'clock on Friday. And Todd, thank you. Jen, thank you. And Danny, thanks for jumping on this and adding some value. Everybody have a fantastic day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.